Otis, should he win and successfully cash in for the Universal Championship, or should he fail to cash in? I am Dan Unfiltered. This is Just Justin. Oh God, what has Vince got us into, man? That we have to even ask this question.
Right, because he shouldn't have been a winner in the first place. That's why we shouldn't be asking this question. But he was the winner of the
But
men's Money in the Bank. So we got to stick with reality here.
I I will say, I will say, the longer he's having it, I'm kind of okay with it at the moment. It's settled in me. Wrestling is kind of shit right now anyway, so who cares? Let's have fun.
I, I was kind of okay with it. Like not when it first happened. When I first happened, I was like, "What the fuck?" Just like everyone else. But like that next day when I slept and had more time to think about it, I was kind of okay then to where it was like he might could just cash in because I think they could get
And
creative with this.
successfully cash in, like become world champion.
Yeah, successfully cash in. And as many options is like they could get creative with it. Like they don't have to go the Kofi route or nothing like that to where he has it for like a few months and beating all these top challengers. Like they could go some deal to where he cashes in and loses it like immediately after that or something like that. Maybe have like Manny
I would prefer that.
Rose
I
come
thought
into
about that.
play
I would
with it
prefer that
in some capacity.
he loses it like cash in on a pay-per-view, win the title, and then lose like the next week because he gets screwed over.
Mm, right. So yeah, exactly.
But the
Some
question
on the
is,
lines of that.
do you have Mandy Rose? Does Mandy Rose screw him or does Tucker screw him?
Either one could actually work. That's what I mean. They got options when it comes to him cashing in successfully. Because if he cashes in and just loses it, then it's just like, all right, well, that was it. That's that. It's not too
And
much that could come
also,
from that.
how do you feel about him cashing in on the tap for the tag titles?
I've heard people pitch that. I'm not. No, that's a no deal for me because it's never been done
I agree.
before, and the tag. I
That
can
would
see if the
rub
tag.
me the wrong way.
I could see if the tag division was a strong point in the company right now, but the tag, let's be real, with the exception of like the New Day and like the Uso, the tag division has been weak for years now. It's been weak as hell. Next to the women's division, it's been the weakest thing in the company. So
If he
it's not
cashed in on the tag division, if
that's
he cashed in for the
weak.
tag titles,
The fact,
it would feel like when Charlotte won the Rumble and then chose to fight for the NXT title. It's like that's not what those matches are for.
yeah,
They're meant
exactly.
for world titles.
Titles. That's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of being wanting to grab that briefcase. That briefcase ain't symbolizing no future tag title match anytime you want to. Come on now. He won those belts by himself. Tucker wasn't even around when he won that. So why would he cash
Yeah.
in for a tag title? It's just I've seen people say that and it's just that's a no.
It's
That's
a
a
bad
definite
idea.
no to me. Yeah.
Well, how if you had to pick right now, would you which side are you on? Pro or against him becoming universal champion?
I mean, I'm pretty much pro right now. I'm pro
Wow. Wow.
because I mean we've seen enough people over the years cash in and don't successfully win the title. We've actually seen that a little bit more than we've probably liked to over the last few years. And I don't really care to see that. Even with it being Otis, I don't really care to see it again. Like, yes, is it
That's
crazy
true.
that Otis won the Money in the Bank? Most definitely it is. I would have never booked that. book for Otis to win
How
Money in
can
the
he
Bank.
cash in? How can he cash in right now with Braun Strowman and The Fiend as the two top guys?
That part gets tricky, kind of tough. But the thing is, he don't have to cash in right now. He don't have to rest this. He can have the damn thing up until next year. That's the whole ruling.
I don't think he can. He'll have.
So you
By
think he
that
needs
point,
to?
he'll be out of momentum.
You think he needs to strike early while the momentum, the overness is on his side? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, because the fat jokes are going to get old. They're old already. Yeah. They're going to get really old quick.
Yeah. Well, that's probably the toughest thing when it comes to this whole thing is how can he do it? Because based off the champions right now, it's kind of hard to get by that. Strowman or The Fiend, it's hard to get by either one of them. Bray, however you want to look at it. How are you going to make either one
any way
to look believable?
Is there any way The Fiend and Braun beat the shit out of each other? Braun retain, then after the match, Mandy does like maybe she kisses Braun, some type of distraction to where he can just roll him up, something.
See that? Isn't Strowman a face right now, though? I mean, I know
he is.
We get deep into that.
They're in a bad spot. Thing. We can't. I refuse to allow Otis to pin The Fiend. No. That's just no fucking way.
Unless it's gonna happen to be Mr. Rogers Bray at the time when he pins him. Unless he happens to be in that get-up. That it really could work in that
get-up. Might have found the way. I think you might have found the way.
I think that actually could be something. That would be low-key great. Him pinning
it could easily
the Funhouse Bray for the title.
That way might work.
Cashing in for the title. That one could work.
That's the only way this works.
I'm not one to fuck with the Strowman one either. Just because, no, I just can't really see that working. But the Funhouse Bray, that could work.
Yeah,
but definitely could.
I mean, the Funhouse Bray that was this close to beating Braun, that's why that's a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's why they fucked that up. But Braun.
But
why would you want Otis?
The thing is,
why would you want Otis to win?
Why would I? I mean,
yeah, I think why?
Like I said, I would have never had him win the Money in the Bank. I would have never, not in a million years, would I've ever booked that. I completely disagree with him winning in the first place, but at this point, what can you do? He won it. I'm not a fan of seeing someone having that briefcase and them not winning the title. Like it was a thing at a time before to where it was probably 5 years in, and everyone who cashed in, it might have been even longer than that. But from when this match first started, it took a while for that first person to not successfully cash in. And we all kept saying, damn, I want to see someone actually not cash in sometime. And then I think the first person to do it was John Cena, which that made sense for him to be the first one to do it because John Cena he can't lose anything by not. He's John Cena. He's the first Battle Hall of Famer regardless. So that's not going to hurt him.
So you're basically telling me your biggest pro of why Otis should win is just because someone needs to.
Yeah, I mean, it's a waste of time. It comes off a whole years of a waste for that match.
I have another reason.
For the briefcase. He is over. He's not necessarily championship material, but a lot like Kofi last year, he is over.
He is. I have another reason. How about just because I would like to see a champion that you don't take seriously. It's been a while for a guy to win it and lose it quickly. Like that used to happen in the Attitude Era all the time. Mick Foley, Mankind won it, then lost it to The Rock, then won it back, and lost it to Triple H.
Yeah,
Kane
those are
was
some of the
champion
biggest
for one
moments.
day.
Those have been some of the biggest moments in wrestling history too. All those you just pointed out are some of the biggest moments in wrestling history.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
And if Otis cashed in and won, that'd be a big moment. And if he lost it immediately afterwards because Mandy screwed him, she would become the biggest piece of shit in the
company. And guess what? That's only going to make Otis even more over than he already is.
Yep.
That's going to make him the fans want to even go for him even more. I guess there's no point in talking about how over someone is right now, though, because with no crowds and stuff, that's why our fans are so important when it comes to wrestling. Because how do we even know how over someone is right now when you ain't had a crowd in the audience for 2 months?
If there were fans, if there were still fans, do you think, and they had a normal Money in the Bank ladder match, not the roof horse shit, but a normal one in front of an audience, do they still have Otis win?
That's a good point. That's a good question. Because
how would that crowd react?
That's a good question. I really can't answer it because although he has been over, I think that crowd would be super shocked. So they definitely wouldn't have expected that. So it's kind of a hard question to ask. And a lot would determine where they are. A lot would determine off where they would be at that night too. Maybe that would matter. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But like, especially with how that ended, if they booked the same ending, AJ Styles bobbles it and drops it to Otis, I think they're getting booed. Because people like AJ, they want AJ to win that match.
Yeah, like
and then you have him drop it.
Yeah, the booking definitely. I think the booking probably would have been different had it been in front of a normal pay-per-view in front of a normal crowd in the actual real arena and all that stuff. I think the booking probably would have been different on Vince's end. I mean, that's a great point though to bring up. We can't say that for sure.
And now let's talk about.
I think it would.
Let's talk about. Why shouldn't Otis successfully cash in and become Universal Champion? And I have the answer for you. It's because it's Otis! Fucking Otis!
There you go. You said that more bluntly than I was just about to.
Is that enough?
It's enough. I mean, what else can I come back from that?
I mean, is he going to defend his world title with the goddamn worm?
I mean,
or Caterpillar, whatever the fuck they call this.
This guy, it's Otis. He's not championship material. He's barely singles mid-card material. I'm saying barely. I can't even say he's that because we never even seen him in that role. That's the difference between him.
Just because he's got the body of Mick Foley and he's an underdog like Mick Foley, he can't wrestle like Mick, and he damn sure can't speak on the mic like Mick. That's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Like if Kofi didn't win the Money in the Bank last year, but he did get on that big run to where he got the title shot at Mania and won the title. So it's kind of similar basis.
Yeah.
But if Kofi would have won the Money in the Bank or something, we'd have felt a lot better about that than Otis. Because at least Kofi.
Otis is perceived as a joke.
Yeah. At least Kofi had a pretty good mid-card singles career before he became, a tag team with the New Day.
Yeah, and he's a multiple-time tag team champion, like a ton. He's one of the greatest tag team performers in history.
Yeah, it's like Otis, he's a tag team guy, but he ain't even done nothing in that area. Him and Tucker have done nothing. His tag team stinks. They didn't even do nothing in NXT in the tag division.
No.
They did nothing.
The only reason Otis is this over is because of Mandy Rose and
because of Mandy Rose.
Everyone loves to see a fat guy get with a hot chick.
Yeah, they love it's been tons of movies made with that a role like that. Either a fat guy, it's either a fat guy getting with a hot blonde, or a dorky looking guy getting with a hot blonde. Yeah, a nerd guy. That type of deal. You know the classic famous show in the 90s, the sitcom Family Matters?
Of course.
Steve Urkel with his damn near his whole life trying to get Laura.
Exactly. Everyone you want to see that have a happy ending. But this story is only going to have one ending, let's be honest. Mandy's going to at some point screw Otis. The question is, will she screw him on the cash-in, or will she screw him after when he's champion?
It could be either one could work. I mean, either one could work. I mean, if you don't want Otis to go down in history as being a former world champion, then you'll go that route. But if you want a feel good thing for the guy, you could give him the title and do the screw job after the fact. Either one could work though.
How about this for a weird booking idea just to toss out there? How about he cashes in on Bray Wyatt, but Mandy screws Otis, and then it's revealed that Mandy is secretly Sister Abigail. I'm joking, by the way.
I mean, I was thinking about that just to see how that. But yeah, because people always like to toss out who could play that role.
Everyone is Sister Abigail.
Yeah, so I thought about it for a second, but
no, she can't be Sister.
Yeah, it won't work for her. But it's like, at the end of the day, Mandy Rose should have some kind of play into this. Like, she should determine some factor to whenever he does decide to cash in.
Yes. Yeah. Or because we have a third option.
You know they're not going to last with each other forever. They're not going to be years.
No, that'd be awful.
Yeah. That kiss they did was terrible.
Disgusting.
They didn't even look like they was comfortable kissing each other or something. I don't know. I don't know why Otis wouldn't be comfortable kissing her. She's pretty damn hot.
This is kind of like Kane and Tori from the Attitude Era, and you just knew it's not gonna last. They just don't fit together.
Yeah. That one kind of could have lasted.
I got used to it.
That one could have lasted more than this one could, mainly because of the fact that you really can't see Kane's face. So it's like, and it's not like he's just some fat slob. Kane
That's true.
He was built fucking 7 foot tall.
That's true. And
you just couldn't see his face. He had a mask on. So that one had more
Tori, maybe she had a thing for him.
Yeah. Maybe she had a thing of tall guys with masks or something. I don't know.
Demonic tall guys that are born in hell.
Yep. Literally.
Hey, everyone's got a type. Everyone has a type.
Yep.
But yeah, this Mandy thing, it's going to end bad eventually. It's just the question is, when she screws him, do you think there's a chance that maybe he gets influenced by Dolph and puts his briefcase on the line versus Dolph, and then she screws him? And Dolph becomes Mr. Money in the Bank?
Yeah, I mean, I could see Dolph. You know what I'm saying? I could actually probably see that. I kind of hate when
there are a lot of options.
Though. Yeah, I kind of hate when they kind of put money in the banks and stuff on the line. Sometimes it makes sense to do, but it seems like every year that's always discussed. That
there's
the money in the bank
than
winners.
When they put the Royal Rumble on the line.
Yeah, they've done that quite a few times too. It's just like,
Yep, 2 or 3
damn,
times.
why would even anyone, if this was a real sport, why would even anyone ever want to agree to something like that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, what
Why
do I
would
get out of
you?
this?
What are you gaining from that? Just to show you're a good fighter or something type deal. It's always the baby face who got to
Yeah,
do it too. It's like,
and
cause
they
you know, damn,
they almost always lose.
yeah, you know, ain't no heel doing that. Of course, a baby face got to do it.
No.
It definitely wouldn't make sense for a heel to do it. But
So, do you have any other reasons why Otis should lose and not become Universal Champion? Besides that he's Otis, besides that he looks ridiculous, not a singles competitor, not very good in the ring or on the mic, and
yeah, yeah,
integrity
we talked
of
about.
the Universal title.
Well, we kind of brought it up already. The contenders just don't quite mesh up.
That's
The,
that's
the
probably the
pe-
best point.
meaning who the actual champions are right now, which is either going to be
Yep.
Strowman or Bray. So as of this moment, so that
Yeah, you really
quite
couldn't
don't
pick
mesh
two
up.
worse people.
Yeah, you
And the
really
other thing
probably
is,
couldn't.
Braun is a not
The only
not
other worst person would be Roman
yeah.
right now.
Well, the one thing I will say that would make Roman better than them is if in a live audience, if he beat cashed in on Roman, Otis would get ridiculously cheered. If you cash in on the Fiend or Strowman, you might not.
Especially the Fiend. I don't really know how over Strowman
Especially
is.
the Fiend.
I don't really know how old the Strowman is at
Yeah, I don't know
this
about Strowman.
given time, but especially Bray and the Fiend.
Oh man, if he that would ruin Otis's momentum like that. He'd be dead.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell? Seth Rollins was over babyface, and then he obliterated Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, in Hell in a Cell,
Mm-hmm.
and Seth had to turn heel.
Yeah. But
Disaster.
fucking Otis, man. Vince gave him the money in the bank. Like
Again,
at this point, is no like speculation or nothing like that when it comes to it. The whole motive that Vince been on like for the past like year or so, that he's literally given us what we asked for. I don't think it's a mystery anymore. I don't think it's just we're guessing that's what he's doing. This is what he's doing now.
yep.
At this point, it has to
He's
be.
just
He's
giving
not
it to baby
stupid.
faces.
Yeah. He's not only is he giving it the baby
That's all
faces,
he's doing.
not only is he giving it the baby faces, he's giving it to baby faces that you know what I mean, are like kind
Normally
of like,
wouldn't get it.
yeah, and they're pro the audience right now.
Drew McIntyre,
Yeah.
Braun, Braun Strowman, Kofi
How about
Kingston
this?
last
He's
year.
giving it he's giving it to the internet-ish type lovable people. Because he also gave McIntyre the have him win the title or the Rumble, which led to him winning the title at Mania. Because we was all kind of shocked that he won that. McIntyre ain't no huge baby face, but he has been an internet darling though over the years. Meaning the internet people want him to be heavily pushed. Vince has also been doing
How
that.
long do you think McIntyre is going to have that belt?
Good question. He actually could probably to SummerSlam. That's not that far away though.
He's definitely having it
So
till SummerSlam.
yeah, I mean he could actually have it longer than that. I honestly would have him. He could actually have it to the rest of the year if you ask me. To the rest of this year, because I don't think
How much money, if you had to bet, how much money would you put on that Drew McIntyre is going to lose that belt to a returning Brock Lesnar?
I'll put some money on it. Don't know how much, but I'll
So would
put
I.
some on it.
I
I'll
think
put
there's a
some
very
on it.
good chance at that. Because when
That would
Vince
shock me
gets scared,
zero.
he just gives the belt back to Brock. It's just what he does.
Thing is, ain't no point in Vince getting scared right now. So it's like it's nothing you
I mean,
could
the
do
ratings.
about this. I know, but you know why they're terrible. Like you can't even
Lack of
blame
crowd.
Vince. You can't even blame Vince for this right now. I mean, you could blame him if you want for continuing to do these shows with no crowds, but you can't blame him for doing the fact that there's no crowds, though. If you get what I'm
Yeah,
just
no, you
said
should.
there,
You shouldn't.
you can
Yeah,
blame him if you want the fact that he's deciding to continue to do shows with no crowds, but you can't blame him for the fact that
yeah,
there is no crowds. There's
yeah,
nothing
yeah.
he could do
And
about that part,
it's
and
it,
you got to know that
it's
that's a huge factor in the low ratings right now. People just don't want to watch
yeah.
this shit with no
It's hard to
crowds.
watch. 3
Yeah,
hour Raw with no crowd reaction is tough.
yeah.
And the
So it's like,
roster is super small now. It's like
yeah,
we're seeing the same people doing the same things. Man, it's tough. It's tough to get through. So I
so it's
actually,
like
just to finish off the stuff, I give a thumbs up. I'm okay if Otis wins. I actually hope he does.
I'm
I just
cool
hope
with
the
Otis.
storytelling.
It took me pretty quickly to be cool with it too. Like that next day or whatever, when I slept on and all that, I kind of woke up and I was like, you know what I'm saying? As weird as it is that Otis won, I don't even think it's really all that bad. Like how people want to look at it. It is, in hindsight, it is,
It took me
but
one day.
with the state of things, how they are right now, it's really not that bad. It's not, honestly.
I became fine with it the next night after watching Raw and going, oh yeah, I forgot. Raw and SmackDowns, they suck right now. So
Yeah.
fine,
Yep.
let's give it to Otis. Let's have a little fun.
Yeah. Put a little fun in it. If you're gonna give somebody like Otis anything at a time, this this gotta be a perfect time.
I was gonna say,
No
this
other
is the
time would be.
perfect. It took the perfect storm of situations to get Otis the world title. Like
Yep.
this virus, no fans, the ratings are trash. Roman isn't there. There's a ton of people that are having to back out. This is a perfect
Yeah.
Otis. There's no there just really aren't that many options.
Yeah. I, you did say it though. We didn't talk too much about it though, but Tucker turning on him wouldn't be a bad deal either. Like it wouldn't last long.
Yeah,
That only go as far as like maybe a pay per view or two, but that'd be a good thing for Tucker. He'll definitely be one of the most
that'd be a
hated
good thing for
man in the
Tucker.
company for a short amount of time. That'd be great for Tucker. Imagine the heat he'll get.
He get
And he'll
great heat.
have
I don't know what
he,
if he can talk as a heel.
true, but me either.
We don't know.
But he'll definitely get some heat
I,
for a short amount of
I
time.
wish
Well, it's no crowd though.
I
Damn it.
wish I wish instead of Tucker, I wish Otis's best friend and tag team partner this whole time was like Mojo Rawley. Because I know Mojo can talk as a heel.
Mhm.
So if he turned on him, Mojo would become a star.
I mean, you can't lie. Tucker will have every reason, as far as like you know how wrestling
Yep.
works, and so he'll have
Yeah,
every
he's
reason
jealous.
to screw him, right? You know how wrestling works.
Yep.
He'll have every reason to.
Yep. And not only that, we could do a double. We can do two. We can do both. Tucker can return and screw him, and so can
Hey,
Mandy. Like
hey,
he
why
can
don't
walk
they
out.
and they
It
give
was a
each other the
setup.
lip lock, and they give each other the lip lock right after that.
A
That'd be kind
setup
of
the
low
whole
key
damn
great.
time.
That'd be low key great.
Yeah, that'd be great. And Otis is just sad and alone. That'd be
And
heartbreaking.
Tucker is up getting the girl. Hey,
Yep.
it's options they could work with this.
This briefcase has more options than any briefcase I
Yeah.
think ever.
I mean, I think everyone was expecting probably like Alistair Black to win, but would he have
I
had as
expect
many
AJ
options?
Styles
Oh, okay. I
because
mean,
he just lost the club. He goddamn needed something
yeah,
to make him feel
yeah.
important again.
Thing is, though,
And
the only thing is when it comes to AJ Styles, he wasn't originally booked to be in this. Apollo Crews got hurt, right? And he like ultimately ended up taking his spot. Or is that not true? You think that was just
good.
bullshit and that do you think that was
I have
bullshit and
no
that's
idea.
just
I mean,
how
it
they
could be.
set it up? I'm just saying,
I have
originally
no
he wasn't
idea.
booked to be in this. Apollo Crews was. In the last minute, he got hurt or something, and AJ Styles ended up getting in it.
Speaking of this, AJ Styles and the Money in the Bank match, why the fuck did they have that moment? Because I know they did. It was heavily edited, so they probably took a chunk out. Why did they have that moment where he got tossed into that Undertaker room with a coffin, and then they didn't even show him get out? He's just up on the roof all of a sudden. Like, what the hell? Why'd you even have him go in that room?
Oh, right.
I
Yeah, I
I
don't
feel like
know.
something was supposed to happen. I think Undertaker was supposed to pop up, and it just maybe Undertaker
Probably
canceled at
so.
the last minute or something.
Yeah, he was supposed to pop up and like scare him or something like that. Like he just saw a ghost
Something
type deal or something. Probably, yeah. It
is
could.
Aleister Black threw him in there, and then Aleister Black locked the door. They didn't say how he
Mm,
got out. He just was up on the roof.
right. Right. Yeah, you're right.
And the other thing, during that Money in the Bank ladder match, there's a moment in that weight room fight where Baron Corbin throws a weight and it breaks a big ass mirror in the weight room, and he like
Hmm.
stares at it all shocked for some reason. That should have been AJ Styles to break that big ass mirror because that's bad luck. It would show
Yeah.
when he drops the briefcase, maybe the mere bad luck got his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, that is known as bad luck. So yeah, that'll make sense. Yep.
At least it would make sense.
But he dropped the
Instead, it
damn
just Baron just breaks
briefcase.
a mirror and looks at it.
AJ Styles should be. I mean, okay, Otis won or whatever. It's not like we talked about it. It's not as bad as it seemed at first. All right, he won the Money in the Bank. Cool. You got a lot of stuff you could do with this. But AJ Styles won that damn match. Who cares if he dropped it?
Yes.
He took it off the hook. Ain't that
No,
how
that
the he took it
exactly.
off the damn hook?
Normally the bell rings right then. Normally the bell rings as soon as it
Yeah,
comes off the hook.
yeah. That's all that should matter. Who cares if it slipped off his hand? It was already off the hook at that point. Like whoever booked that,
So now it's like, wait,
they didn't.
it, there's no
Whoever
rules. What are
ultimately
the
came up
rules?
with that idea, you got to be concrete about that thing. So it's like next year's Money in the Bank. Shit, I'm gonna be looking for that. Like, how long did it take you to ring the bell after they unhooked the damn thing? I'm gonna be looking for that next year's Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Supposedly now, since you want to change up rules and stuff. I didn't know. Do
You
you
got to
have
remember
to
though,
have it in your
uh,
hand for a certain amount of time?
I don't know. And we also remember last year's winner, Brock Lesnar, wasn't even in the fucking match. So
Right. It's Brock Lesnar though. That's all I can say for that. I know that's lame, but that's how they want you to
it is.
think of it.
I thought the Brock Lesnar, when he first of all, he doesn't need to win, but once you saw him with it and you got the options in your head, it was like this actually could be really good. Because what's the scariest in history you could think of in wrestling? Brock Lesnar having a Money in the Bank briefcase. If you're champion,
Mm,
oh, you're fucked. But they didn't tease it. He barely ever teased his cash in. Like they should have teased that all the time. And
yeah.
he just didn't. He cashed in pretty quickly. I wanted like
Yeah, he
almost a year of build.
he cashed in immediately, basically. And he didn't I mean, I did
Yeah.
like the booking of them straight up letting him know. You know, we talked about this when it comes to Money in the Bank for years. Like certain people who win the Money in the Bank, they should straight up let the challenge the champion know I'm catching this bitch in on this date at this time. I'm not going the cheap route like how some of them other people did. And I like that they
Yep.
did that with Brock, but they could have waited a little longer.
They could have
They
waited
could've
longer,
waited.
and frankly, I would have liked if they waited. Because remember at the beginning, the next night after he won it on Raw, he's holding the briefcase, and Paul Heyman tells him, you have a whole year to cash in, and Brock didn't know that. You can wait all year. So yeah. But then they didn't even use that. They didn't even use it. He cashed in quickly.
Yeah.
Like they should have. Every champion should have been terrified. Like if it was like a heel champion, like a Seth Rollins, like for nowadays, be champion, that would have been great. He'd have to be looking over his back after every single match.
Yeah.
Just have Lesnar's music hit all the time and be like, oh my God, this is it.
Yep.
Let them be terrified.
After
Brock fucking
like every paper
Lesnar and in any time.
Like pretty much every pay-per-view match that the champion has on that night, especially those nights, Raws and SmackDowns or whatever, too, Raw or whatever, but especially the pay-per-view matches, have his music play every time and he don't actually come out or something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just fucking with him until that moment.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Until that one moment comes to where he actually does come out. You know what I mean?
That would have been sweet.
Just as long as possible to where we get to the point that where we kind of forget about Lesnar, where we're not even thinking about Lesnar having the briefcase. But if that's the case, you wouldn't even have to do it for every pay-per-view, but just every so often do it. Just try to make the audience and everyone forget about him.
You do it after every big match. Like anytime people start thinking about it, like if it's Seth Rollins versus Strowman or something.
Yeah.
That's a big match. We're like, Strowman is probably going to beat him up. So there's probably going to be a cash in afterwards. That's when the music hits after the match.
Yeah.
But he doesn't come out. You do that after the big matches. But when you actually have him cash in, let no music hit. Let him just come out of the crowd and just F5, cash in 1, 2, 3. No music. It was all a setup.
Yeah. Yeah, that could work.
That'd be
like,
sweet.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Any match to where, the champion is going to be pretty weakened after the match because it's going to be a long, grueling type match or something. Any big match like that. Yeah. I could see Cole fucking shit up when it comes to things like that, though, because he always like to run his mouth.
He's here! It's the Beast incarnate!
Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
Shut up, Cole. Shut up, Cole.
He don't be noticing. He be ruining shit when he does that sometimes. But
he does.
Whatever.
He also does on 3 counts, the near falls. If he's super saying, it's over, it's never over.
Yeah. Never. You just told me that this match is continuing just by how you reacted to that pinfall.
I fucking hate that. Another random topic here.
He's trying to make the moment feel big and all that, but it's like, it's way you go about it, man. I'm no expert when it comes to...
You know how JR made the moment? JR did the same thing. But the difference is, on the near falls, he would sound exactly the same as if when it actually is the finish.
Yeah.
Michael Cole's dead silent when it's the actual finish.
Even early in the match.
That's how you know it's the end.
Even low-key early in the match, JR is kind of react like, hey. You know what I mean? Just to keep
like, oh my God, that was close.
Yeah. Just to keep you on standby. Just to kind of let you know that, hey, anytime now, you never know. This thing could be over.
You never know.
Yeah.
Michael Cole just gives that fucking thing away. All right, on to another topic on this episode of WrestleRant. Did I tell you how many times Big Show turned heel in his career so far? Or heel face? Just how many times he's turned?
I know it's been a lot. I don't know a number. Like, I don't know. I guess you looked that up or something.
The number sounds... Yes, and the number sounds unrealistic, but it's true. And the number is 34
it's probably
times.
Not. Wow. Like I was going to say, though, that is a fucking lie. But I was going to say whatever number you say.
How?
I mean, that is a hell of a lot. That is pretty ridiculous. But it's like, that's been a running gag for Big Show throughout most of his career. That he's Mr.
It
Heel
is.
face turn every time he pops
It
up
is.
and you see him.
I thought that was because he turned heel face, 12 times. 34?
That is a lot. But the thing is, how long has he been in? Is that just? Well, yeah, that's throughout his WWE
WWE.
career. Yeah, okay. How long has he been in WWE?
20 years. 20 years.
And how long
A
has
little
he
more,
been?
probably.
How many years has throughout those 20 years has he been a normal, active competitor? Meaning he's on Raws and SmackDowns every week, more so than just like
Probably
a
like
part
17,
timer.
16, 17.
So he's been a part timer for about 3-4 years now. You'll say,
Yeah. I'll say that's a guess. Something like that.
yeah. So out of all that time, so that means out of these last
So
3 or 4 years, through this, 3 or 4 years, we're guessing that he's been a part timer. He probably turned heel and face. See, that short amount of time can't be that much because we rarely see him. So that means throughout the main core of his career, when he was a normal active guy, that means he was just turning heel face left and right, like at least 2 times a year. More than that, probably.
Twice a year is the average. Has to be about twice a year. That's
Has to be
craziness.
about twice. That's crazy.
It's like
That's crazy.
like you couldn't just stay face for a while, like for a couple years. Fuck.
I bet you the second person on that list got to be around the 10 to 15 mark, and that even sounds kind of high.
Oh yeah,
but it can't
that's
be no
high.
more than
I
that.
told you. I thought Big Show's was gonna be at like 12. 34. I was blown away. If you had to guess who number 2 is, and I don't know the answer, but if we had to guess, who do you think number 2 is?
You know what I usually do when you have me. If you could give me like a little small clues, something that could kind of.
I don't even know the answer.
Oh, you don't know? I thought you might have saw like a list.
So what's your guess? I wish.
It might.
If we had to guess, what would our guesses be?
They probably got a list out there for this thing somewhere. But
right.
I'll
look it up.
If I had to guess, 34 is a lot. But if I had to guess,
yeah,
Jesus.
No one's close to that. But who else has switched a lot?
I can't. I don't even know if I could guess this because usually when you turn, it's not that usually sits for a while. I'm talking about anyone in wrestling history. Usually, if you turn heel to face, to face to heel, whatever, that usually sits for at least 2 years, or you know what I mean.
What about like Kurt Angle? You think he's up there? You think Kurt Angle's up there?
He'd be up there, but I would say no more than 10 times for him.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it'd be like 9, something like that, which is still a big number. That's what we're saying. That's crazy.
34 is a hell of a lot.
What about Edge?
I thought of Edge. I should have just said him, damn it. Because I did think of Edge. I didn't think of Kurt Angle, but I did think of Edge.
Seth Rollins has
Christian could be up there.
So
since you said Edge, I probably could say Christian. He probably be up there too because they've had similar paths in their career. Christian probably could be up there.
Seth Rollins has already turned 5 times, something like that, in his short career.
Has it been
started as a heel with the Shield. The Shield turned face. He turned on the Shield back heel. Then he's turned face, and now he's a heel again.
Yep. So that's
That'd be
exactly 5
5.
times. Yeah.
Yep.
And Big
That's
Show
a good
did
bit.
that. Big Show did that. Is it really 34? Where'd you get these sources
Yeah,
from?
that's
Like,
ridiculous.
where'd you
No, it's
get?
true. Someone kept track. They even have the dates of each turn.
Who kept
It's
track of that?
ridiculous.
Who?
I don't know. Someone looked
I'm
it up,
just.
and it has a. I can't remember where I found it. It's an actual reliable source though. It's like Fight
Yeah, I'm
Club. It's
not
not Fight Club. But
questioning.
it's got a Fightful. It's a real thing. It's an astronomical number. I got another good one for you though. How about Charlotte Flair?
That's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, but the thing
She
is,
got to be up there.
You know what the thing is? Hers are weird compared to some of these other people you said. Hers is weird. It's like hers. It's hard to even
Debatable.
tell. Yeah, hers be kind of like the way she turns. It be kind of like under the radar. You really can't even quite tell that she turned a lot of times. You know what I mean? Because Charlotte always usually comes off the same. Her persona doesn't really change. It's just her opponents change. That's all that be mattering.
Yeah.
So hers be kind of hard to tell.
That too.
Like her opponents changes. She don't really changes. Big Show changes drastically though. You can most definitely tell when he's heel and when he's face, like the way he acts and stuff. Like you know what I mean? Yeah, no, all that stuff matters.
Face.
He's a lovable big giant when he's a face, and he's a big time monster when he's a heel. It's a drastic sight-seeing difference. There's no difference with Charlotte. She acts the same basically no matter what. It's just her opponents are different.
He wins as a heel. He loses as a face. Charlotte wins
and the way he
both
acts.
times.
And the way he acts, though, I'm saying. Like his persona is different.
Yep. Yeah. But I guess Edge or Kurt Angle or Edge would be my guess for number 2. I don't know. Kane, maybe? I don't.
Kane is another, he's another one. You know what I mean?
He's been around so long.
Yeah. A lot of these people that you're saying, though, they all kind of relate to each other in some ways. And the reason why they might have turned each other heel and face quite so big. And that's because you could use a lot of these people. They want these people to be able to be used based off whoever the champions and stuff might be. Like if you kind of get what I mean, it just depends on the circumstances of the champions and stuff and how things work out. And you know, Big Show.
And yeah, big people turn a lot for some reason.
I kind of would get why though, is what I'm saying. I kind of understand why they would, booking wise.
Like,
if you think about it.
Hasn't Nia Jax already turned a few times also?
Yep. You got to understand why. Because they're big. Their size sells itself. So you want to be able to utilize their size to go against whoever the champion is. If the champion happens to be a heel at the time, you're going to turn that person face. The champion happens to be a face at the time, you're going to turn that said person heel so they can match up against them. You know, Vince has always cared a hell of a lot when it comes to the heel face dynamic. He cares probably a little bit too much when it comes to that a lot of times. Sometimes it's just like, who cares if they're heel? Just put them against each other. Just have some balls and put them against each other.
The best feuds we've had over the last couple of years have been heel. Or face. Like
Vince.
Brock
Vince has always been scared to go that route.
Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe. It's the best 1 month feud we've had in 5-6 years. Both were heels.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, is our last topic of this WrestleRant. Is Solo done? Is he retired? Is he?
I know.
Is he just a commentator?
Yeah, it's like he went back to being a commentator out of nowhere. They're not even explaining why or nothing. He ain't hurt. Originally, when he was
He's
doing it, he was
literally
actually no. Originally, when he first was doing commentating for a little bit, he was hurt at the time, but he's not hurt now.
will Samoa Joe will Samoa Joe ever become a world champion, or
No,
are those days over?
it's too late. Those days are over.
Those days are done, and that's a
Probably didn't
shame
expect my,
because right now,
probably didn't expect my answer to come that quickly, but no, I think those days are over.
not that quickly, but right now with the
It's over,
quarantine
man.
and Roman's not
They
around,
didn't strike.
and half
They
the
didn't strike
roster
while the iron was hot
at
with him.
home. With this would be a great opportunity for Samoa Joe to be champion for a few months, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen
I don't see it happening
because there's
at
no
this point.
main event talent right now.
Yeah, and
They don't
he's
have any main event talent.
sitting back chilling, like commentating out of nowhere too. Like the first time it made sense because he was actually hurt. He's not even hurt now.
Samoa Joe literally is having the exact same career as Taz.
Hold on, and another thing that nobody has even really talked about this. A certain guy too. Actually, he kind of relates to Samoa Joe, believe it or not, especially over the past like few months, going back to the end of last year, because they had actually had a thing going on with each other. Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Remember, yeah, they had a thing going on with each other. It was like buddy, a little tag team for a little bit, feuding with Seth.
How did that end?
I,
How did that even end? I don't remember.
it was no concrete way. It didn't. It didn't really actually end. It didn't.
They just waste. Oh, Samoa Joe got hurt, and then when he came back, they just didn't say shit about it.
Yeah, they just ignored it. Yep. Like it never happened. They weren't associated with each other no more. But the thing is, Kevin Owens beat Seth at Mania. He beat him that night a few months ago, a couple months ago. What happened to him? He disappeared.
Yep.
He didn't get hurt or nothing.
He disappeared.
Like Roman,
I
we
don't
straight up
think
knew.
so. I think they gave wrestlers. They gave wrestlers the opportunity to stay home if they felt like it.
Yeah, we know the deal with Roman. That got announced.
Yes, he did.
We didn't hear shit about Kevin Owens, though. We heard about Roman, what was the deal with that. We ain't heard none about Kevin Owens. He beat Seth at Mania and he disappeared, and next thing you know, Seth became the number one contender.
Yep. I would have loved to see a Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens triple threat.
Triple threat.
Oh man, that'd be.
That probably should have been what the case was. That probably should have been the damn match at the last pay-per-view we just saw.
Damn.
Yeah, seriously.
So I just can't believe how they ruined talent so quickly. Samoa Joe came in like a Samoan submission badass, battling Brock Lesnar, and just like that, he's Taz.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's like Kevin Owens just disappeared. It's nothing about him. Thing is, I don't even think people realize he disappeared because certain people haven't even talked about him or brought it up. Like,
I noticed only because he's like one of my favorite guys, but that's it.
I mean, he's most people's favorite guys. I don't think it's too many people that don't like Kevin Owens. Not that I know of.
That's true.
He's most people's favorite, man. Just be real.
He's one of the top, yeah.
Kevin Owens
that sucks so much.
Kevin Owens is that guy. Like he got a good support when it comes to all type of genres.
Fuck, man. We need this Corona shit to end, or at least them to get better testing. Something to where the whole roster can be back. Because if we can't get a crowd, I at least need the roster. I need Roman, even him. I need Kevin Owens. I need Sami Zayn. I need them all here.
But like I said though, the day is gonna come. That time is gonna come. It's gonna be that first Raw, SmackDown, whatever. It's probably gonna be Raw because this is the WWE, and yeah, it could be SmackDown with them being on Fox, but Raw is still their baby.
Nah.
But Raw is still their baby, so Vince's baby. So that first show, that when it's gonna be a full-on live crowd in the audience, whenever that time comes, imagine how the buzz is gonna be for that show when that show first kicks off. I'm gonna have to watch that show live. I know we normally don't watch wrestling and stuff live nowadays, just because we just don't really prefer to. But you might have to just watch that one live, just because.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna be big. That
shit's gonna be huge.
It won't be SmackDown. Even with Fox, we thought Fox is
SmackDown. You know, if SmackDown wasn't on Fox, I would never even pitch that. I only give them a chance because it's on Fox.
But they don't. Vince apparently does not care. SmackDown was treated special for 1 week, and it went right back to SmackDown ever since.
And you could barely say that. The only special thing about that show was The Rock to me. And I'm not saying that because he's one of my favorites. I'm just saying that because that's just how I felt about that show. They really didn't do a whole lot that was special on that night.
What was it called? Or was it just called SmackDown on? Did it have a name, a title?
SmackDown on Fox. No, it was SmackDown Live on Fox.
They had like a whole bunch of stuff planned, and it wasn't very good.
It was a hype that went nowhere. Rock kicked off the show, and that was as good as it was gonna get. It was for the 10 minutes he was out there.
All right, man. This has been fun talking. And next week we'll be talking about is Chris Jericho the most talented professional wrestler of all time? Talent, like all around talent, because I think he might be. We'll talk about that, and also, will the PG era ever end? Will the PG era ever fucking end? We will talk about those things next week, right here on WrestleRant. We got to get some things off our chest. That's what this channel's for. Everyone, get your beers.
Get it ready.
This is going to be a weekly thing.
Stay safe, quarantine. We fighting through this. We'll get back to promised land in the near future.
And excuse the lagging. We're going to work on that. It'll all be better.
Yep. Everything good, though.
Oh, it's been fun.
Yes, sir.
And I will see you, man.
Yep.